Hello and welcome back, card playing collector family, fans or whatever. Okay, I was at Ollie's and I couldn't believe what I found because what I found is almost 30 years old, and I'm just like, oh my gosh! And it's, let me just show you. It's this. It wasn't as loud as I was expecting it to be. The Star Trek: The Next Generation customizable card game, and I used to collect these when I saw them at Books a Million ages ago. And I checked. There's like one date on here, and it's on the very bottom, and it does say 1995. When I went to Ollie's, I was going in there actually for a heater to replace the heater we have, and it's not an actual heater. It's more like a space room heater you can actually attach to a wall if you so choose to. We're probably not going to do that. And then up near the front of the store, they have. I've got a sweet tooth. I'm diabetic. I really shouldn't be eating sweets, and I was looking for something sweet and couldn't find anything. And being Ollie's, a lot of their stuff is kind of secondhand, and so I normally don't get food or candy from there, because they do have some old Easter candy, probably from local stores around, maybe, or out of their warehouse, and I'm like, and I can't remember if I got something that trip or not. And I always look for Transformers. Right now, Transformer figure wise, and they have is a Tigatron Beast War reissue and a Pterosaur Beast War reissue for like $10. That's not bad at all. I think City Trends, I think, has them also for about the same price, if maybe not $8. But in around Christmas, all that stuff, they actually had like a percentage to get off. But anyway, up the aisles by the cash register, and we went to an aisle that there was no cash register, no one working, and they only had like one person working. And I looked down and I saw Wars, and I'm like, oh my gosh, they still have some of the Wars card game. And normally they would keep that card stuff like they have like an aisle with puzzles and card and board games, and they used to be in there, and they used to have Keyforge as well, and that's where I started buying Keyforge. They had the starter pack, and each starter packs, all the decks were actually, I found out, to be different. You could buy a $20 box for like $5, $5 or $7, and I'm like, wow. And so I got a few of those, and Walmart had single packs at the time, and I got a few packs, and it's only like waves 1 and 2, or maybe wave 1, I can't remember. I think they still make Keyforge. I don't know how big it is, but I couldn't get my son to get into that either. So, yeah, what can you do? But this was up front on the very bottom, a very bottom shelf on the aisle by the candy up front. And they had a whole lot of Wars stuff, Wars decks or boosters. And they had about 4 or 5 of these. And I'm like, I don't believe it. And these used to be about $10 or $12 for one of these, if I remember back in 1995. And this looks like to be the white border edition. They got this sticker, and they're selling them for $4. And I'm like, oh man, that is awesome. And I never figured out how to play this game. I got the manual. It's a book, and it came with the Laughing Data card. Where the laughing data card went, I don't know. It may not be worth anything. I don't know anybody that plays this thing. I never figured out how to play it myself. it can't be that hard, but when you don't have someone to play with you, it poses a problem. So we're going to have a little booster opening, something I haven't done in ages. I might do a little tease on the title of this too. And let's just break this open. It was only $4. They might have a box or two left there at that Ollie's, actually. They actually have completely organized everything, and you can see where everything is, especially in the toy section. Nice and crispy. Let's see here. Oh, I forgot that golly. Back when they did stuff right. Back when they did this stuff right. The Art of Great Games. Look for special 15 card expansion sets. So I don't think these are the same. Oh, I remember that episode. And I've been wanting to watch Next Generation some again. It's been a long time. Seasons 3, 5, and 6 are my favorite seasons of the Next Generation. The whole show is really good. Some episodes were slower than others. 60 randomly assorted playing cards through the... Okay. So, well then, let's just open this too. Whoa, not the cards. And they got the instructions in the middle. And I don't know why I'm recording this, but just to do something different for a change. Yeah, I'm a Christian, and here I am showing off some old another dead card game. This is the Dead Card Game channel. Welcome, folks. So let's see who we have here. Oh god, this stuff is just all over the place. Joe Brill, that's right. An event card, the USS. Oh, the ship cards. That's right, USS Sutherland. Cool. Nebula class. Dilemmas. I remember the dilemma cards. I don't know if y'all can see these. The lighting is terrible over here. I don't have a good light. Baron. There's a... that almost reminds me of the zone cards that some of the guys were trying to do with Transformers. With these evacuation. Etana Joel. Another dilemma. Pardek. Dilemma. Soren. Yeah. Wow. And all they did was probably take pictures of the screen in high def the best they could back then. Interrupt. Vorcha class. IKC Quavat, the Quavat, that's a ship, that's instructions. Interrupt. It was just so cool seeing all this stuff, just really good looking sharp images of the show on these cards. And I guess that was the allure for me, even back in 95, 96 when they were making these. Katesh, Engineer, Klingon, Interrupt card, Varel, Interrupt. Oh, funny. Interrupt. USS Miranda. I remember getting that card. Oh, and the anaphasic organism. That's just a freaky, kind of funny, but freaky looking image right there. Interrupt. Tarek. Oh, I'll remember that episode. That wasn't too bad. Starfleet Type 2 Phaser, McKnight, Dukoth. Gosh, we got some characters in here. Jadon, Event, USS Nebula, USS Excelsior. Oh, how cool. Now, it shows everything on here. I think I'm losing a sight in my right eye. This is not good. I don't see where they show if they're... You might see the hole in my head. There's like little characters here as asterisks. Maybe that's for the character cards. But I don't see anything where like common, uncommon, rare, anything like that on these anywhere. It's just, range weapons and shields, integrity, cunning, and strength. USS Excelsior. Wait, didn't I just pull this? No, that's Vorcha, and that's Quavat. That's right. Christopher Hobson. Well, he didn't pass the DE&I employee back then, and I'm kidding. And combat vessel. Boy, that's specific. Interrupt. Another. What in the world? Physics, integrity, Oh, okay. So both players can see that. 25-25. Interesting. It doesn't say what type of card it. I guess it's like a planet or location, border, something. I don't know. The Federation. It's an outpost with shields. I may have to find what cards I have left, if I have it. I think I got rid of a lot of them. I think I got rid of a lot of them. Gorta, equipment, Romulan outpost, Linda Larson. I remember her thinking she was kind of cute way back when. I wonder what she looks like now. Event, Taquette, medical. Gosh, a lot of character cards. Just a lot. Yeah, was that Tate? Geology, stellar cartography. Was that the one where Geordi fell in love with the girl that was kind of left on an outpost, and they found out that her dog was the actual alien that killed everybody on the outpost? That was actually a good episode. And let Geordi have they had let Geordi have a couple of love affairs, if I remember correctly. Gusty, well, yeah, that's right. Was it? Yeah, she was on the old Cosby show in the 80s too. Type 6 shuttlecraft and another dilemma card. So wow, I always liked the ship cards. It was just so cool. And I don't see any duplicates, so they were doing this pretty well on purpose, making sure there were no interrupts and dilemmas and events and stuff. I remember seeing lots of duplicates way back in the day. I don't see any in this actual deck. I don't see any duplicate people or even duplicate ships here. I thought I had the same. Yeah, they are different. It's just IKC. I'm thinking Klingon High Council, but it's something Klingon something. I don't remember. I don't consider I consider myself a Trekkie, but not a really Trekkie, and I don't even like the term Trekkie. I just like Star Trek, and I don't watch STD. I can't watch. We don't have Paramount. We had Paramount Plus for a short time. I got it free just to be able to watch the fourth and final Rebuild Evangelion movie, and I forgot to cancel it, and so we had it for a few months, and we did watch some Star Trek on it, but I can't remember if STD was out yet then. It may have been. We just stayed away, but we did watch Picard. The first season was pretty slow, but my wife liked it, so we chugged on. Season 2 was a little better. There were some gag me with a spoon moments. We skipped a few episodes, and my cousin and best friend, he's like, "Oh, just go straight to season 3. You won't miss anything." And so I did skip an episode, and my wife was like, "Oh gosh, what happened? What happened?" I said, "We'll find out. Don't worry about it." And it ended up the season 3 was the best. It really was. It was what everybody wanted anyway, from what I was reading some online. She just looks a little freaky. I know it's all the makeup, but Uh, he Baron. That's right. I think I remember that episode too. Golly, this has got me wanting to watch Next Generation again. But yeah, here's one. That's one. Let's keep it back in its original little box. And let's see what's in the other one, I guess. See if we get much of anything different. I'll kind of do it like that, I guess. And, that was around the same time, Magic kind of started up about, 92, 93, something like that. This was in 95, so, Magic just really hit it off. And so many people liked Magic. They tried making that Lord of the Rings, the Wizards game, and I bought so much of that crap. Never had anyone else to play it with. Couldn't figure it out. And then once I may have figured it out, it seemed like... I think it was like D&D in cards. And it was just very, very meticulous. And I'm just like, you've got to be kidding. You want me to roll a check on everything for this move and for that move and for playing this and for playing this on that? And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is ridiculous. And I guess, it's just a card game, even if I was just... And I think there was even a solo game way you could play the Lord of the Rings, the Wizards, and that was before even Peter Jackson brought out the movies. I'm regurgitating and saying a lot of the same stuff because I did a whole video a year and a half, 2 years ago here somewhere on the channel. I was talking about that game and kind of showing what I have and I still have that stuff. I gotta get rid of it. It's just taking up space. It's just in my nightstand and it's just falling out and the doors are wide open. I gotta get rid of some junk. And even when I go to a card store somewhere and mention it, they're like, "Oh, no one plays that. I don't know. I haven't heard of that. Boy, that's old." And I'm like, "Yeah, oh well." So I might as well just. Okay, get off my... There we go. All right, well, we have here... Fleet Admiral. Shanti. I remember her. Was she kind of a pain? I can't remember. Well, I just leave the interrupt and event cards in a pile. New Doc. Dilemma. Benjamin Maxwell. Interesting. And okay, we'll put Federation, Klingons. Are these Romulans or Vulcans? That's a good question. He's a Romulan, so maybe that's the Romulan symbol. Eric Pratt. Oh, now he was kind of a pain. Wasn't he? Well, it doesn't have. He doesn't have a rank up there, but I thought he was the captain of the I forgot the name of that ship that Tabak that Riker was over, that had the cloaking device on it that the Federation wasn't supposed to have, and when they found it, it was half stuck in an asteroid. That was pretty cool. An artifact? Interesting. A place. I don't know if you can see all this. I know my camera cuts off about right in here. These are like civilians. Narek. Dilemma. Ooh, USS Galaxy. That's new. Crom. Interrupt. Vecma. Was she one of the sisters that blew up in Generations? I'm not sure. Yeah, they went out with a bang, didn't they? Not many people like Generations. Tomek. I really liked it, and the more I watch it, the more I like it. And it was the only Thea, the, Thai, Thai, I don't know. Geology and physics officer, or an officer with. So I remember getting this wormhole interrupt card a whole lot back way back when we just got the boosters. Galathan, Galathan, Galathan. I don't know. But I think they have all the Vulcans and Romulans under this same symbol. Romulan Disruptor, Event, Dilemma, Female's Love Interest. Oh, funny. We did used to make fun of it even back in the early 80s to into the 90s that it was the love boat in space. Paul Teth, Engineer. Oh, he was a villain. Tall, security. The Runabout. Cool. Isn't that from DS9? Or maybe not. Well, if it's from this, then it's got to be from this. But both shows were going on at the same time for a short while before Next Generation ended, if I remember correctly. If I remember correctly, that was a long time ago. Oberth. That's a dilemma card I don't remember seeing. I wish these were numbered. I make cards for Transformers and I don't. Male's Love Interest. Oh, funny. A Klingon Outpost. Finally, cool. Sito Jaka. I remember her. She was kind of cute. And they had some of these actors and actresses for these, like those one-time roles in some of those episodes as real celebrities, and they put a little something on them. And was she one of those one of those three famous country singers? I can't. My wife would know. The Deridex Event, Klingon Science Vessel, Talus. I remember him. Equipment. Rescue Event. How funny. Q made the show. When he showed up in Voyager, he wasn't as funny. But I think it was because of Janeway. He had a love interest with Janeway, which was odd. And of course, the people in real life knew each other very well, and maybe they had something to do with that too. When they eventually did bring Q to Voyager, and Varel, a science officer. So wow, no one real big though. No one real big. Not any of the major characters. Shucks. But I think I don't remember. I think I remember seeing getting way back when this was. You could actually buy this game. Well, of course, I just bought it, but when it was new, I think I got one of that twin of Riker. That was interesting. That was a good episode too. And then he actually showed up in Deep Space Nine. They all thought it was Commander Riker, and it wasn't. It was his accidental twin. And that was really cool, how they played, that they actually brought that one-time episode character to Deep Space Nine to cause a little mayhem. But yeah, talk about a blast from the past. Star Trek, the customizable card game. But I guess, you can, and this is, I guess, they're calling it an expansion, a starter set. So I guess you could use this as a deck. That's 60 cards. But wow, these were just so fun to look at and read and check everything and just actually able to look at a part of the. There's a building that looks just like the Klingon headquarters. And every time I see it, I think of think of the Klingon headquarters. I don't think of what that building really is and what it's for. But that's all I have time for right now, guys. I don't know how. I probably went 20 minutes again, showing off something I don't even know what it is and how to play it. But I'm going to try to keep these decks or expansion sets separate. So now that I have, 2 actual decks, expand your power in the universe. Wow. 1995. Because they're calling these the white border edition. I think the first run were black. Because there's some with a white border and some with a black border, and I forgot which came first. That was so long ago when I used to just hang out at Books A Million and actually had a little autonomy on what I could buy because I had a little money. I was living on my own by 1997. Assistant band director for a while way back then. I'm telling a little too much about myself, but wow, things were a little better than they are now for sure. Even though the Clintons were in office for 2 reigns, and but things were a little better because of the NASCAR was really big back then too, and I never cared for NASCAR. But I do remember seeing an increase of candy and candy bars and Skittles and Tic Tacs and stuff like that. And it seemed to be attributed to maybe the inflation at the time and what was going on a little bit. But also, I really think it was the demand and increase in maybe not sales per se, but the interest of NASCAR and what the cars were sponsoring. And how big it got, and so therefore the Mars and Skittles and all that were you couldn't just get a candy bar for 50-45 cents anymore. It was more like 70-80 cents, and I'm like, crap, that's a big jump. Then now it's like what a $1.90, $2.50 for just a bar, a Hershey bar or Crunch bar or something. It's just when I was a teenager, you could get a little bar of candy or for like 35-45 cents. And it has increased 4.5 times more than that. Or definitely 4 times more since the mid-'80s. But in the 90s, that's when I was really seeing an increase in candy prices anyway. I wasn't quite living on my own, like I said, until 97, so that's when I really started taking notice of, because I had to go buy my own groceries. But that's all I have time for. I didn't mean to quite go this long, guys. In addition, update to Transformers. I may go back. I may end up be in the middle of making 200 plus cards. And I'm kind of going back to the drawing board and really checking on how I want to do this. But when I'm done, you're going to be like, whoa, it's going to be a lot of the same stuff. I'm not doing anything too crazy. Okay? I'm really not. I'm trying to keep things simple, but incremental. These are not base cards. You know what these are. But I don't want to spoil anything, but it's the ranking stuff. You've seen these we looked at a few about 3 months ago, around February or January of this year. And I really want to go back, and I'm not going back to the drawing board per se. It's a whole new drawing board. And it's going to be interesting. I think you're going to like this. You might just like this. We'll see. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. And as always, what the heck. Transform and let's roll out.